Democratic state lawmakers are mounting a resistance to Trump's proposed policies. And today, the San Diego County Board of Supervisors will vote on a measure to block police from working with federal immigration enforcement. That means that those people just get to stay here and fan out all across the country. Many of them, we know, have criminal backgrounds. We don't do the vetting, though. We find out after they break laws here. Complicated and dangerous for American citizens. The resolution says the county shall not provide assistance or cooperation to ICE in its civil immigration enforcement efforts. Well, that's a setup as Trump's coming in. Jim Desmond, San Diego County Supervisor. Great to have you today, Supervisor Desmond. Tell me this. How bad is this to do right now? To block the help of getting people out of the country we know need to leave?
Well, this is just doubling down on the sanctuary city, or in our case, sanctuary state issue here. And what we're talking about is we're dealing with people that they're here illegally, and they've already been convicted of a crime, and they're in our jails. And what's being blocked, or attempt to be blocked, is we could right now, for serious crimes, felonies, we are able to contact ICE and let them know, hey, this person's in our jail, or they're about to get out of jail. They can come in, they can interview, they can figure out the seriousness of the crime, do a background check on them, which should have been done at the border.
Right.
But that is going to be hindered. We know what's being proposed is we in San Diego County no longer have that direct access between law enforcement and ICE to come in for the criminals that are already in our jails.
Is that a danger to the citizens of your county?
Absolutely. By putting in, more bureaucracy to between local law enforcement. Yes, absolutely. Because these people may never now be interviewed by ICE or to be ported by ICE, and then they're back in our neighborhoods.
So is this all about Trump?
I think so. I think this is a knee-jerk reaction to Trump, and even with Newsom trying to double down on, trying to Trump-proof the state. Yeah. Unfortunately, my colleagues here in San Diego County are trying to do the same thing, and I'm hoping to stop it.
So I'm curious, what's that conversation like? These are your colleagues next door. You all get together. I mean, I thought it was to protect the people, national security. That's the goal. What's their goal? To protect the people, the illegal immigrants that are here.
They say it's about breaking up families. Well, if these people hadn't committed the crimes, we wouldn't be in this place. So it's more about criminals and making sure we deport criminals that, particularly for the heinous crimes. This is not for petty crimes. This is for felonies and other violations, use of firearms and things like that.
In California, you're surrounded by Democrats, so I'm sure you're having these conversations all the time. So Trump wants to handle this two ways. He's not going to separate families. He said if they're all here illegally, everybody goes back together. He'll do the job that the current Secretary of DHS won't. He'll find children. That's what his incoming border czar wants to do. Find those missing 300,000 children. So they will be deported in some cases with family. The other thing is to make a deal on dreamers in this country. Your last quick word.
Well, I want to make sure that we focus first on the criminals. We want to make sure that these felony criminals do not get to stay in our country, especially if they're already in our jails. They should be deported first. We can sort out the rest later, but get the criminals off our streets.
All right. Supervisor Desmond, great to have you. I hope you'll come back to the focus. Thank you.
Happy to.